Hello, this is Dr. J, here with a Let's Play of BS The Legend of Zelda Ancient Stone Tablets. A new adventure has begun in Hyrule. 6 years ago, the hero Link threw down the King of Evil Ganon. Since then, the land of Hyrule has basked in a time of peace. But one day... Apologies for the extremely annoying sound effect that is playing right now. I can't do anything about it. Help me! Each night I have dreamt the same dream, the black shadow over that vast temple. Why does it haunt my memories? No, I can only hope that nothing terrible will happen. In her dreams, the princess sensed a new danger, then, that day. By the way, if you're having trouble making sense of this absolutely bizarre opening, let me tell you, you are not alone. Apparently, we're just some average Joe who's being teleported into the land of Hyrule, is what I'm getting out of this. Huh? What is that strange light in the east? Princess Zelda followed the mysterious brilliance. So it's an isekai story. We have been teleported into Hyrule. Whoa, now what could that have been? It's almost as though something fell from the sky. Who is this? A strange youth was lying there. Ah, is that you, Agina? Oh, if it isn't Princess Zelda. I enjoy doing goofy voice acting, by the way, so if you really hate that, this probably isn't the playthrough for you. I saw a strange beacon of light shining from here. What has happened? This here young'un dressed in something unusual. Not dead, I hope. Princess, this child doesn't hail from the village. Agina's apparently Sahasrala's heretofore unmentioned brother. Don't know why his name is so similar to Aghanim. There is no time to worry about such things. Come, this youth could be injured. Hurry and help me, please. Carrying the youth, Agina and Princess Zelda hurried to the nearby shrine. It is strange, but there appear to be no wounds. We shall allow this youth to rest here. It has been a long time, Agina. You look well. You are as beautiful as ever, Princess Zelda. I'm not going to tee-hee-hee. While we speak of such things, I have not seen old Sahasrala recently. My elder brother warned me that danger surrounds Hyrule. He went in search of Link the hero. Link the hero, the legendary swordsman who alone fought Ganon. Seeking new adventure, he left Hyrule behind. You as well? I too have been dreaming only nightmares of late. I feel as though a shadow draws near. Princess, this place may also be rife with danger. Please return to Hyrule Castle. You speak the truth. I will leave for the castle at once. But Agina... The youth who appeared in the light. I feel a strange power about this one. If endowed with courage, this could be the hero of light. Ya don't say. With these words, Princess Zelda took leave of Agina's shrine. Oh my god, there's so much to read. Ugh, this is a disaster! Aren't you the soldier who was at the Eastern Temple? What's wrong? Are you alright? You're hurt. A horde of monsters came at us from nowhere. All other soldiers defending the temple with me were killed. It looks like they haven't appeared here yet, but... Ugh. Oe, hold on to your strength. So, Zelda's prophecy has been fulfilled. If the monsters have returned, then... The princess departed a long time ago. She must be escorted safely to the castle. But what will happen to Hyrule now? We must rely on the youth. A new danger has befallen the legendary kingdom of Hyrule. Can the mysterious youth save this doomed land? Welcome to BS The Legend of Zelda Ancient Stone Tablets, Chapter 1. So, I think most people know what this is by this point, but if you're not aware, there was an add-on, a Japan-only add-on for the Super Nintendo called the Satellaview, where they broadcast games over a satellite connection, and you could only play the game while it was broadcasting. Really a very strange concept all around. And one of these games was this sort of side story to A Link to the Past. And in these Satellaview games, you would play as your avatar. And so this doesn't star Link, this stars whoever your Satellaview avatar would have been. So these Satellaview games, the code was acquired, and ROM hackers have translated them into English and made them available to us. Unlike the third quest and fourth quest, the Satellaview games that remade the original Legend of Zelda, ROM hackers have not been able to condense the 4 episodes of Ancient Stone Tablets into a single ROM. So you actually have to play it separately as 4 different episodes, and they are time limited. You have, I think, 56 minutes to complete 2 dungeons and find whatever secrets you can find before the time expires and you're no longer able to play because the broadcast ended, was what originally happened. During this time, there are various timed events, and I guess there was lots of voice acting that went on during the whole thing. Personally, I would enjoy this more if it were turned into a more traditional Zelda experience where there was no time limit and it was all just a single cohesive unit, and you could do the entire thing all at once and not have to switch ROMs, and you could just kind of do it at your own pace. But we have what we have, and it's still really cool the way it is. And I'm extremely grateful to the ROM hackers for bringing this to us, so don't take my complaint there as ingratitude. Now, ordinarily, I would choose to be the boy, just because obviously I am male, and so choosing to play a male character seems like a reasonable default for me. However, in my opinion, the boy sprite with the backwards baseball cap looks kind of ridiculous. That just isn't my style at all. So I'm actually going to deviate from what I usually do, and I'm going to play as the girl sprite for my Ancient Stone Tablets playthroughs. Where the character you play as isn't really a real character. I guess it basically just represents you, or you can just kind of make up whatever character you want. And this is somebody who is supposed to have been teleported into Hyrule from the real world. Like I said, an isekai kind of story. So we're going to go ahead and say that we are a perky, cute teenage girl named Corey, who looks like this. This is some art I drew for a different project. And we got teleported into Hyrule, and we are now the heroine of light, and it's going to be our job to save Hyrule yet again. I did have, as you probably noticed, a practice playthrough, as you probably saw from how I already had a save file. So I'm not doing this blind, but I'm not going to be referencing any guides or walkthroughs as I do this. So hopefully I won't screw it up too badly. The time limits are not super stringent, so I think that I should be able to get through all the content without too much trouble before the time expires. That's enough preamble. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Ah, so you've awakened, young child, from another world. You were wrapped in a mysterious light which brought you here, although I don't know what it was. So naturally, I do not know who you are, but according to Princess Zelda, this land of Hyrule once again faces a crisis, and only you can stop it. I didn't believe it at first, but now I think we ought to heed those words. To learn more, you must go to the Eastern Temple. The location is marked on your map. Go outside and press the X button. And we get a big bag, which contains a bunch of items. Just as a warning, I am going to be fumbling the controls like nobody's business, hitting wrong buttons constantly. So just be aware of that. Now, originally, I believe there was voice acting throughout this experience because it was broadcast live, and the voice actors were, providing that voice acting as the broadcast went on. I have not tried to patch in any of that. I think a patch for that stuff exists, but I haven't gone quite that far. So instead, the various things that the voice actors would have been saying are displayed at the bottom of the screen. So you can go ahead and read all that. I'll read it as time permits. But I'm going to be focusing on the action, so I'm going to miss some of the things that are being said. And I'm not going to try to voice act every single thing that's being said, because trying to keep track of that and play at the same time would just be an absolute exercise in futility. Alright, so we start out without any kind of weapon. So I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I'm hitting wrong buttons already. I'm going to go ahead and release this bee we start out with, who's going to attack enemies for us. We're going to have to rely on the bee to do our killing for us until we're able to get a weapon. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up a fairy, put it in a bottle, yes. I don't want to catch my bee, however. Alright, we now have a fairy in a bottle. Now, I am probably going to split up each episode into 2 separate videos. Otherwise, they'd be an hour long, and I think half an hour is usually a better length for a video. So this will get split up in the middle. The transition might not be super smooth, depending on if I remember to do an outro and intro in the middle of a single recording session. Listen carefully, it's easy to break down walls that look crumbled. Set a bomb at such a wall and the path will be opened. Yeah, we know how to play Zelda, thanks. Go, Corey. Show everyone your heroism. Okay, so we don't have any bombs yet. I remember from my practice playthrough that there's a lot of bombable walls in these dungeons. Most of them lead to just extra rupees or like bomb upgrades and that kind of thing, but I think occasionally they lead to stuff that's mandatory. So we're going to want to keep an eye out for all that. You are fighting well, young one. Here's a fortune teller. Fortune teller is going to make... Alright, we have a sword. We don't need to rely on the bee to kill enemies for us anymore. Use an item to open a path through the fragile part of the left wall. Yeah, but we don't have a bomb yet. The fortune teller is going to be a pretty important individual for Ancient Stone Tablets because he sort of announces the various events that are going on because there's all kinds of timed events. Like I said, I'm probably going to miss a lot of that because I'm going to be focusing on the gameplay rather than trying to read everything going on at the bottom of the screen. Alright, now we have a shield. Once we get the dungeon map, we'll have a better idea where we might need to bomb our way through the walls. I don't remember the names of a lot of these enemies. I don't remember what these are called. I think of them as ropers. As in from like Dungeons and Dragons, but I cannot remember at all if that's what they're actually called in Zelda world. The skeletons in A Link to the Past engine, of course, try to jump away from you when you attack them and are very annoying, so you either have to corner them or do things like kill them with pots. Corey is a natural at this heroically slaying monsters thing. I am going to make no attempt whatsoever to 100% this, because I would have to practice a lot to make sure that I can get everything that crops up within the time limits, because some things only show up within a certain amount of time. And while this is a lot of fun, it's not so much fun that I want to play it like 10 times in a row to get perfect at it. I'm just going to try to complete all of the main content, the dungeons and stuff, and any really interesting timed events, only the most prominent ones, and get any secrets that I can within the time that's available and as I find them. So this isn't a 100% run or anything. There is a master quest for Ancient Stone Tablets, which increases the difficulty, because in general, since it's on a time limit, the content in Ancient Stone Tablets is not terribly difficult. Otherwise, a lot of the people playing would have had trouble clearing everything and probably would have gotten frustrated. I will probably be playing the Master Quest after completing the the normal version. Okay, so we've definitely missed some things, but we'll probably have time to do another run in Bombing Walls that we missed. I think we'll have enough time to do that. So I probably will play the Master Quest, which I have not played yet after the normal version. I don't know exactly how difficult it is. I may get absolutely wrecked by it. But we've got to get through the normal version first, so let's not put the cart before the horse. That's way in the future. Oh, and that jerk just hit us with a bone. Get wrecked. Alright, we have the big key, so we can open the big chest. And we get the bow. But don't walk into me. Personal space, jerk. Alright. I do really like the Link to the Past engine. In terms of just how much fun it is to play and the kind of environments and challenges you can make with it, this is honestly probably one of the best game engines ever made. It really gets my imagination flowing and making me think what kind of games I might be able to make with an engine like this. That's how my mind works. I'm very creative. Ooh, that was close. Just barely hit that guy in time. Okay, let's check the map. Is there a bombable wall here? The map doesn't seem to think there is. Wonder if we can kill these guys with pots. I don't remember. Probably not. Nope, does take the bow. Wake up. Are these guys called... No, they're not. Never mind. I was about to say something that I know to be wrong. I don't remember what these guys are called. What I was thinking of are, I think in A Link to the Past, the Gorias are the weird, frankly kind of scary monsters that mimic your movements, which is very different from what they were like in the original Legend of Zelda. Alright, and it says you will now certainly receive rupees from any slain monsters. So there's going to be various events like that where, like, for a limited time you have unlimited bombs, or every monster you kill gives rupees, or a bunch of fairies appear. Alright, we got the Pegasus boots, so now it's going to let us dash. Unlike in the original Link to the Past, we can actually change the direction of our dash in the middle of it. So that's pretty cool. Alright, do you want to carry more arrows? Sure. Arrow me up. And there's a bombable wall to the south of us, so let's go ahead and see what that's all about. Rupees, rupees, and more bombs. Rupees are welcome, so that we'll always be able to buy anything that we need to acquire from shops in the middle of the adventure. As I said, I do feel a little rushed going through this, even though the time limit isn't too tight. But I really can't go through it at my own pace. I do have to try to be fast and not take my time with things. And I would enjoy this more if I could just kind of do it at whatever pace I wanted. But it is what it is. It's still really cool. I love getting to play new dungeons in the Link to the Past engine. Ooh, let that guy stomp right on me. Luckily, Corey's got a hard head, and she can survive having a 5,000-pound stone statue fall on top of her. Do not underestimate this girl. And we get the first of the stone tablets. Has the plot even told us why we want these things? Why did we go to the Eastern Palace anyway? Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention, but it's not even clear to me why we went in that dungeon. Okay, that only took us 17 minutes. We've got lots of time left, so I'm going to go back in and take care of a couple of the bombable walls that I know we missed. So according to the map, I think they're all here on the top floor. I'm not screwing up with the buttons as much as I was afraid I would. But I'm sure that time is coming. Now that I've said that, I'm probably going to mess it up 20 times in a row. I do like the dungeon music. Oh, that wasn't even a bombable wall. That was... we didn't even have the map. Okay, I don't even know what I was doing. Derping out all over the place, apparently. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't a bombable wall. That was just a way to go that I missed. I'm going to chalk that one up to being rushed, too. That'll be my excuse for all my failings. Alright. Getting a lot of rupees. Yeah, and there's going to be announcements. I think there's one going on right now about magic shops having specials that are only available on a time-limited basis. I mostly just ignore all that so that I can continue with the main story stuff. And then if I have time left over after I complete the dungeons, then I go around seeing if I can find any interesting secrets. Which is a little backwards, because any secrets you get are generally going to be probably not needed if you've already completed the dungeons, but, you know, whatever. So another thing, I think you can carry over your progress if you, like, rename a save file or something like that. I haven't been able to get that to work. So I'm going to be basically starting with a fresh file on each of the 4 episodes, which basically just means I'm going to have to spend the early part of the episode flying to previous locations and getting the items that they just give to you. It only takes a couple minutes at most. If it seems really boring to watch, then I'll cut it out of the video, but it's not really too much of an obstacle in terms of being in danger of running out of time. So it looks like these bombable walls were pretty much just a bunch of rupee rooms. Not complaining though, it's good to have those. Anything else? We did miss one bombable wall on the floor below us. We've got 40 minutes left, which... I don't think it was anything important. Just for the sake of definitely having enough time, I'm not going to worry about that one room that we missed. As I said, I'm not trying to 100% this. A little bit of a boring layout with this first dungeon, you could say. So I'm not going to blame myself for the fact that I went right by that door, because it was pretty effectively covered up by the text down there. That is one downside of that text bar at the bottom of the screen, is it will legitimately make it hard to see some things that you would like to be able to see clearly. Okay. First dungeon finished. There's 2 dungeons per episode. Oh, and it has just started raining, and it did so with perfect timing to kind of make me freeze up and take that hit from the Octorok. Alright. Thick fog. I think it's going to start raining soon. I don't know if we can get this heart piece yet. It might be part of a timed event that hasn't triggered yet. Okay, yeah, it's blocked. So what we want to do next is go to Zora River. That's going to be where the next dungeon is. Alright, fine. Be that way. But we might as well see what's in this cave here. A fairy. Thank you, fairy. And there's pretty obviously a bombable wall right here. And inside is just a rupee. And I'm not sure how to get to that. Maybe there's a bombable wall in the cave to the east. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, it's right there. You can actually see the graphic. Sorry, don't mean to blow a hole in your wall there, fairy. Ah, 100 rupees. Nice. let's investigate this little house down here. Whatever. Alright, so here we can get some medicine, might as well. Oh, we have a fairy in our bottle, so we can't get that. Alright, that's fine then. Oh, now it's raining. And the Octoroks have been replaced with Zoras. Wow, they take a lot of swings with a sword. Alright. So we just want to head to the north. We can stop by Hyrule Castle on the way, but they're not going to let us in. It's tough standing out here in the rain, brr. Yep, the guards are in the way, so we can't go to the castle right now. Never minding the fact that I walked right into a Zora earlier, they're really nothing to fear. They just kind of walk slowly toward you. Not much of a... or... not much of a threat, I say, as I take another completely unnecessary hit from one. Alright, so up here are a couple of shops. I think I can get an upgraded sword at the rental shop, and I would very much like to have that. Because this sword is pretty weak sauce. Oh, great. Stepped right on that. I'm getting close to death. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and get this gold medicine then. Oh, right, I still have the fairy. Maybe I should actually let the fairy out then, because I think the gold medicine is really, really good. Alright. Alright, recovers life and magic power, and we can charge our sword faster, apparently. I actually didn't use any gold medicine in my practice playthrough. Now, I think if we charge into those rocks, we can destroy them. And so that will take us to the rental shop, I think. And hopefully here we can get a sword upgrade. Yes. Welcome, welcome! Borrow anything you like! I recommend a shovel! Ah, come in! What would my dear customer like to rent? Sword, please. 10 minutes is kind of a short amount of time, but at least for 10 minutes we'll be more powerful than that weak sword we were using. Alright, so I think right up here is going to be the next dungeon. It's kindly marked on our map with a tablet icon, which I appreciate so that we don't... Oh, there I hit a wrong button. I meant to swing the sword, but I hit the other button for, like, running and stuff. I do appreciate that they show you where the next dungeon is, because otherwise being able to find it in time without having to use a guide would be challenging, shall we say. And I'd rather spend my time actually getting to the dungeon and going through it rather than just fumbling around trying to find it. Alright, thank you, fairies. Alright, so we want to talk to King Zora. Well, what do you want of me? I just want the flippers. Can't give them away for free. 150 rupees. Luckily, we've been picking up lots. I'll give you these valuable flippers. Farewell. Alright, so now we can swim. Alright, we've actually used up quite a bit of our time, so let's get a move on, shall we? Make sure we've got plenty of time to do the second dungeon. Which is going to be behind this waterfall.